This monster erupted like a natural disaster. He didn't bring a strategy, he brought destruction. The referee had to wrestle him away, forced to contain the chaos. Why punish an opponent who could no longer defend himself?
You hit like a girl.
Bob Sapp had been trolling his opponent, mocking every accomplishment he had ever earned. And that wasn't just talk, because when the bell rang, the chaos he promised came to life. This is Bob Sapp, a 350-pound spectacle of rage and muscle. A former bodybuilder, sculpted like a monument, yet moving like a storm. He didn't step into the ring, he crashed into it, a living avalanche of flesh and fury. When Sapp fought, it wasn't sport, it was survival. The cage shook, the crowd roared, and opponents braced for chaos in its purest form. Technique meant nothing against him. Game plans shattered on impact. Bob Sapp wasn't just a man in the fight game. He was a force of nature that couldn't be reasoned with, couldn't be contained, and left behind nothing but wreckage. But Sapp wasn't the only giant to bring mayhem into MMA. His opponent that night was Mariusz Pudzianowski, the world's strongest man turned MMA, a mountain of muscle with fists like sledgehammers. But unlike Sapp, he wasn't chaos. He was control. Every strike had purpose. Every move had intent. Where Sapp was wild fury, Mariusz was calculated destruction. But on that night, he didn't come just to fight, he came to shut Bob up, and to prove the world's strongest man could be the most violent. This wasn't just a fight, it was a clash of titans, a global spectacle to answer one brutal question. What happens when an unstoppable storm meets an immovable mountain? The bell rang, and Mariusz wasted no time, hammering the 350-pound giant like a man correcting the mistake the world made. Sapp tried to fight back, but Mariusz wasn't like the others. He stood his ground, every punch heavier, until the fear showed in Sapp's eyes. The monster who once thrived on chaos suddenly looked human, his fury shrinking under the weight of the world's strongest man. Then came the rage. All the weeks of mockery, all the disrespect. Mariusz unleashed it in a storm of ground and pound, each strike a reminder that words have consequences. The referee had no choice but to step in, pulling Mariusz off before Bob Sapp was left in ruins. That night, Bob Sapp wasn't the monster, he was the victim.